Star Wars sounds. Star Wars sounds. Hey, everybody. It's good to see you all this week.
We have the afternoon sillies.
That is some deep coats brought to you by the Star Wars Half Hour.
What's this, Star Wars Half Hour? Yeah, we're considering making every episode a half hour because, we'll get through the news faster. You won't have to wait so long, especially those people that don't watch it live. They'll be like, oh, now it's only a half hour. Yeah, maybe I'll watch it now.
There's 1,000 reasons to watch a Star Wars Hour. This week and weeks going forward, we are planning on keeping it with one half hour because we would like to just provide you with the news instead of what was happening thanks to Kathleen Kennedy and her marketing team, which was not providing us enough news to do a full hour, which is insane that we can exist in a world where Star Wars takes up so much of the universe and we can't fill an hour worth of news. That's insane to me. That's nuts. But this week is a great week. Lando is my Calrissian, Rich. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
You ready for the solo film?
Yeah.
Did you watch the new trailer?
I did, yeah. I think there's two things that could happen from this. So, the reason why we phrased it as such is that it looks like at least they're marketing it to come off that, everybody nobody's comfortable. Even if you're looking forward to this movie, there's a part of you that's like, I don't know if Alden Ehrenreich really is like Han Solo. He doesn't really act like Harrison Ford, and that's fine. So the marketing department was like, okay, let's focus on Lando. Everybody loves Donald Glover, right? Nobody hates Donald Glover. If you do, I don't know, it's your problem.
Yeah.
But he's a cool guy, so I think that at least the marketing team putting together the trailers is now like, okay, let's just focus on him. It's like, hey guys, Donald Glover, shoving Donald Glover down your throat, so you'll want to see this movie. However, Donald Glover himself said he wasn't in this movie very much. So what I'm thinking is it's just marketing, and that they're just trying to play it safe for the commercials. And I mean, really, this movie is going to be at least 75% Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo.
Yeah.
So will Donald Glover carry the film?
Yes.
Well, it's hard to say, because if you think of carrying a film as someone who's in most of the movie and really delivering the performance that you like, then I don't think he's going to be quite that. I think he will steal the show whenever he's on screen.
Yes.
But we're talking 4, 5, 6 scenes at the most. I don't know. Even if he was fantastic, I don't know if a total of 25 minutes screen time is really going to make the movie for me if the rest of the movie is garbage.
Well, they have said that in multiple occasions, Donald Glover not only nails the mannerisms of Billy D, but really nails his voice. There's a specific scene that I saw online where they did basically a shot for shot of Billy D screaming out for Han and during a firefight, and then I think it was also a firefight. Or no, Billy D was screaming out for Han for something, getting mad at him. And then Donald screaming out for Han during a firefight. And the voices, it was crazy. It sounded like a young Billy D. I am fantastically excited for what the film's going to be. And this is probably the first time where I've been legitimately thrilled with what might come out of this. They also showed a lot more of Khaleesi, or whatever her name is.
Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark, thank you. And she looks great. She looks like if she walks Han through this adventure, then I might actually believe his character. It's going to be really interesting. I hope the supporting actors steal the show, because I think that's the only way that's going to make this movie exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm very optimistic about Solo, probably more optimistic than most. I just question whether Donald Glover will be the one to carry the film. No doubt he'll be fantastic as Lando. I just don't think we're going to see enough Lando for anyone to consider it Lando's movie. But we'll see. Maybe they've been lying to us the whole time. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, here's something that I noticed also with the news this week, just as far as what Disney's expectation of how this film is going to go. There was a lot of toy news this week. I think Disney is kind of using this opportunity to get back to how it was after Star Wars first got popular. There was a toy for everything. I just saw an old photo of a Tauntaun that you could literally stuff Luke inside to. A Luke action figure could be stuffed inside a Tauntaun.
That's awesome.
So that, hilarious as it was probably back in this, I think it was late 70s or early 80s where that toy came out. But Disney's back on that train. I think they've realized that the movies are going to be hit and miss, but the fan base and the love and the people who buy those things, sorry collectors, usually children, are going to continue to buy the products.
I will continue to buy them as well.
I
like to keep my Tauntauns lukewarm.
Terrible. My favorite news as far as the toys this week, if nobody has played it or looked it up yet, when Disney came out with their official Star Wars sanctioned headset and lightsaber for their lightsaber battles.
Right. The VR stuff.
The VR stuff. They came out with Star Wars Holo Chess, which is free for all of you to play right now, not sponsored, on iPhone, which you can literally just, you can do the VR set or any VR set, but you can also just hold it and play Holo Chess, which is incredible. But we all know the rules of Holo Chess, right?
Yes.
You let the Wookiee win. Some more toy news, which was a little less. Otterbox released the new Star Wars film case, which is kind of the first time I think Otterbox has taken on a brand. They might have done some other smaller ones, but this is probably the first main brand they've taken on as a phone case. They've done a lot of there's a black Otterbox, there's a purple Otterbox. They've done a lot of that, but it's really interesting to see them enter, or Star Wars enter that market as well. The last physical update was to Star Wars Battlefront 2, update 1.10, has actually brought me back. If you haven't played it yet and you have Battlefront 2, go, because they've updated it. They've added this cool Ewok mode where you basically run around and it's Ewoks versus troopers. The troopers try to survive until the evac. Now, when any Ewok kills a trooper, you get to spawn as an Ewok trying to kill the other troopers. It's kind of a last man standing thing, which is pretty awesome. They've also added skins, 50 skins. So everybody was complaining why do I have to buy the new troopers? Just let me get skins. Mm-hmm. There's skins. There's 50 of them.
Awesome.
And then they've also worked on their crafting parts and skill progression and skill points to let those be a little bit more fluid, just as far as the game progression goes. Last toy update, and then I will jump back to Rich. If you didn't see on the Star Wars Network Facebook page, definitely go there, give it a like, check the description below.
Facebook.com/Star Wars Network.
Correct. I posted the first drone footage, which is a flyover of the park as it's getting built, which is expected to open up within about a year. And in that, there is leaked footage, also online if you dig, of the Millennium Falcon ride. It looked pretty bad. It looked like a rough cut CGI of it, and it was just in a movie theater with all the lights on. It seemed like a bunch of corporate bigwigs there, and maybe an intern or two who probably took the video. But we'll see. There's supposed to be a new ride or two in there, and they have that whole Millennium Falcon area. So it'll be interesting to see what Disney does there.
Yes.
I don't know if you have anything to say on that. Otherwise, I'll jump back to more stuff because I'm the money man.
No, I'm very interested in all of that. I just I'm at the point where it's I just want to see it, and see because I think right now it's all just they're not going to finish any effects or anything on any ride until they're pretty much ready to go, so they're not wasting time. If the studio execs are nah, let's not do that. It's thanks for wasting 60 hours of my life.
Right? They're we literally used lines. What are you guys doing? So the last bit of solo, or not the last bit, but some more solo news I have, which is introduction of a new TIE fighter, which I find pretty interesting that they're doing these prequels and introducing new tech, because arguably the tech is more advanced. There's a new TIE fighter called the TIE RB. There's a photo of it. It's kind of a beefier standard TIE fighter, and that's apparently going to be there.
Star Wars is really inconsistent on its tech. There's so many things even in the Star Wars prequels that are way better than they had in the original trilogy, and I think that ultimately it's just you really got to suspend your disbelief for so many things in Star Wars already. Mm-hmm. It's just maybe it was around during the original trilogy, but, they just happen to not be using it.
Yeah. That might be the case. And I actually have a question for you. In the new Solo film, do you know who Dryden Voss is?
No.
That's Paul Bettany's character.
Oh, that's right. He's a new character.
Yes.
He was originally played by a different actor, but then because that guy couldn't make it to the reshoots where Ron Howard redid everything, they got Paul Bettany. Instead, he's just a gangster, right? Is somewhere
not anymore. One of the big news updates this week is he is the criminal overlord projected to be the main villain.
Oh.
In this timeline.
Okay, wow.
He is projected based on different sources that have been pulled from Esquire magazine and stuff like that to be the one who betrays Han. It's going to be some big crazy twist is my projection and what I've read online and the research I've done is his character is going to have a crazy influence on this timeline. And now one of the most interesting ones is who's your favorite Mandalorian wearing armor villain?
Boba Fett.
Okay. Guess who also has Mandalorian armor?
This guy.
Yes.
Wow.
So he's supposed to be a bit of a collector, kind of this eccentric evil scum lord is kind of what it's looking like. Maybe if DJ from The Last Jedi was actually bad and he's kind of that supposed to be sinister snake kind of dude, maybe larger than life, but there is a shot of him in the Esquire magazine with Mandalorian armor in the background, like a clear prequel kind of samurai looking Mandalorian suit.
Well, that'd be dope.
Yeah. So it's looking really interesting. I still don't know what you think. Did you have any projections on what the main plot line of that was going to be?
No, not at all. I mean, they haven't given us anything, and I'm from what I can tell, it's just Han Solo goes on a cool adventure fighting something with Lando and this chick.
Well, didn't you think we were going to figure out how he got the ship and stuff like that? Don't you think? I thought you thought that was going to be the focus.
Yeah, Lando and Han are going to have a little contest throughout the movie, and then they're going to do the sabacc game. They're going to gamble each other, and whoever wins, Han, spoilers, is going to win the ship. You know, I know that was going to be in there. We'll probably see the Kessel Run, but as to how that glues into some kind of plot, I don't know.
You don't think Disney's going to pull the Lando had a change of heart and give it to Han?
Oh no, absolutely.
You don't think?
That'd be stupid because
it would be stupid. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
That would retcon about 5 lines of dialogue from The Empire Strikes Back.
I'm just saying that might have been a lie.
It's hey buddy, I won that from you fair and square. Yeah,
they could have been joking.
They weren't.
I know, but we're gonna see. One of my favorite lines, which if you haven't seen the TV trailer yet, you should play it. Lando, Donald Glover, says, all those things you've heard about me, it's something like this, they're all true.
Yeah.
Or something like that. All the rumors you've heard about me, they're all true. Which I'm hoping becomes this just massive pissing match between the two of them towards the end.
So what makes you think that Lando would give Han the Millennium Falcon?
Disney.
Just Disney?
Just Disney. The way they've been doing stuff so far, I'm it feels so Disney, which is great. Disney's good, but I don't know if this timeline's the best place for it. So...
No, I think that would be... the last thing they want to do is piss off hardcore fans even more. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, no kidding. It'd be very interesting to see what they end up doing there. Also, more news. Did you know how long the Solo film's going to be?
Have they released a time?
They have released a time.
And what is it?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay, so pretty average for a Star Wars movie.
But that feels very long for a Solo story. Think about that.
How long was Rogue One? I think Rogue One was about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, but Rogue One was a good film.
Rogue One was good.
The thing you missed there is Rogue One was actually decent.
You really want to stare at rotting cheese for 2 hours and 15 minutes? No, I think it's going to be... I really am starting to feel like this movie's going to surprise everyone with how good it is.
I hope so.
I
mean, they've learned a lot. It would surprise me for Ron Howard to come in here and release and be okay with releasing something that wasn't done.
Crap.
He doesn't view me as the type to just release it. So I don't know.
I guess we're gonna see. But I tell you what, if Lando is just you know what, buddy, you go ahead and have... I'm gonna stand up and be like, boo! Fuck that shit! It's terrible! Everything you guys do is a lie! Everything that's happening here is just garbage!
Yeah, I could see you doing that. I don't know if you want to read this one because you probably know more about it on me regarding Poe Dameron and The Last Jedi. Because did you notice they were missing? Did you notice the Black Squadron was missing?
When was the Black Squadron missing?
They didn't show up at all in The Last Jedi. They weren't there at all. They did not have his back. They didn't exist in this one.
Well, let's see. If you're referring to, well, like, what is it? Within 15, 20 minutes in the movie, we see the entire hangar blow up, you know? Like, Poe's running to his black X-Wing, and then he gets blown back, and you see his ship explode. And all of his friends get into their cockpits, and they explode. I'm pretty sure that's when Black Squadron eats it.
But why would this bit of news be released that Poe is set in Episode 9 to answer questions on where the Black Squadron has been during The Last Jedi?
A little bit of retconning, maybe.
You think?
Yeah, because they showed, I can't remember all their names, but they showed like several of the X-Wing pilots from The Force Awakens eat it at the beginning of the movie, and I thought that was Black Squadron. I just assumed all the fighters were dead.
Yeah.
So maybe there's more, but they were somewhere else.
Maybe they were off
so that way
something.
instant army can happen, so they don't have to like wait 10 years in the timeline to do more stuff.
Literally, they have to do the scrolling text again because they have to explain what's happened in 10 years.
Remember all those pilots that you thought died? Oh, they had twin brothers and sisters.
And they're all just as good pilots.
Yep. They were conveniently located on a planet safely away from the Empire, and here they are, yay! Ray's parents are not junkers.
It's just
J.J. Abrams.
The first 20 minutes of Episode 9 are J.J. Abrams explaining what actually happened.
Yeah, what actually?
Luke didn't actually die. Carrie's still alive. Like, oh.
Oh, that was just a weird fever dream. I'm J.J. Abrams.
I'm J.J. With love, J.J. It's just all the text leaves like this. It goes, and Carrie Fisher's still alive. Text is gone, and then just goes, with love, JJ. So that'll be pretty interesting.
We'll see about that.
I still love that they're still answering questions about The Last Jedi, and they're not letting it die.
Yeah.
I don't know what the logic is on that, to release it so soon, despite Episode 9 they're not even filming.
This just reeks of more Lucasfilm leaking all this weird stuff while they still haven't filmed Episode 9 yet to kind of really see what the fans want / are expecting.
That's a good point.
Because it's like they don't want to screw it up this time, so it's like it's like they're testing us. What do you think Poe's going to do about Black Squadron? Be like, well, wait, didn't Black Squadron be destroyed? Like, how would you guys feel about it not being destroyed?
What if nobody died?
Yeah, so I think they're really reaching for some
fan input, rather than like the underbelly of Reddit.
It's like they're trying to get fan input without saying they're getting fan input, so they do shit.
They're not just making a thread be like, "Hi, I'm Kathleen Kennedy. What the hell do you guys want from me?" And everybody be like, "Bring somebody else in."
Yeah, and then Hell Hydra points out that most of them, like half of them, already died in that battle in The Force Awakens as well.
I'm just saying, for some reason they're releasing that. I'm pretty sure Rich is on target with that. I don't think stay on target. I'm
pretty sure there's like 15 members of the Resistance left. So.
Yeah, I mean they flew away in a ship.
Yeah, in the Falcon.
Unless you play Star Wars Battlefront, then like a whole bunch of people fly away. Did you notice that? Did you notice that difference? Well, with Battlefront 2 at the end, the Millennium Falcon leaves at the end if you survive or lose that battle, the battle crate, and then a bunch of other Rebel ships fly away too, but all you see in the film is the Falcon.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. I think they can kind of go either way.
Yeah.
But even so, even with just the Falcon leaving, they could say like, oh, there was Resistance fighters that were helping on other planets. Yeah. And they'll make some Star Wars logic up.
I doubt the last 15 people were on that planet.
Look at Empire Strikes Back, too. Like, I mean, there was like 100 or so rebels that were just on Hoth, and they all had to move base, and then all of a sudden, in Return of the Jedi, because, again, all the rebels in Episodes 4 and 5 were basically human, and then all of a sudden, Return of the Jedi, we have, all kinds of stuff, Admiral Akbar and his race is suddenly up there.
And they didn't explain that, so they were just like, "Hey, we assume you guys are smart enough to know that the rebels aren't going to stop and they're going to keep recruiting people."
Yeah.
So I also like DJ Drop. They got saved by time travel again, and that is an ode to Star Wars Rebels.
Yes.
Which is super fun.
Which wasn't actually time travel, but I've already explained this on a previous episode, and I don't want to get into it again.
Yes, let's leave that Rich outside. This is something you're going to like, in which we had talked about and called. We talked about this a lot, Force Ghosts. It has been confirmed Episode 9 is going to bring back Yoda.
Yeah,
he will be seen as a Force ghost.
They
again.
saved that for the theater in episode 8. They were like, oh, you know, they were like, oh, is Frank Oz in the credits of this movie? They kept it super secret, but then like that was like one thing that people liked, and so they're like, yeah, Yoda's gonna be in episode 9. Yeah. Oh, what else do you like? Mark Hamill, yeah, we'll bring him in. It's like right now it's like the level of begging and pleading is really hilarious right now. It's really hilarious.
They're like, we're so sorry. We don't know why you guys didn't like it. We thought it was an okay film. And they're like, take cookies, take money, take a better Battlefront 2, take solo cups. Like we're just throwing you merch. Take merch.
Yeah, I agree with Hell Hydra. Anakin has to. I don't care if you don't like Hayden Christensen. Yeah. He has to be a ghost, and he needs to talk to Kylo Ren. I don't care if Kylo Ren doesn't even like, because I always imagined him like Anakin finally showing up as a ghost and convincing, Kylo Ren that he was an idiot and everything. It's like I kind of don't even want that anymore. I kind of want him to just show up and be like, you're doing it wrong, and then Kylo to be like, no, you know what? I'm going to surpass you. I'm going to do what you couldn't and actually go through with my evil plans. Yep. Fuck you, Granddad.
That would be great. Like I learned it from watching you, Granddad.
I learned it from watching you. But no, I still want him to show up for some. JJ has said since episode 7 that episode 9 would connect to the whole saga, not just the sequel trilogy. And I think that what better way to do that than with Anakin? You gotta. You got it. At least Yoda.
Do you think Obi's gonna make an appearance in episode 9? Do you think they're gonna pull out all the stops? Like.
I think Ewan McGregor is really due for some screen time because it sounds like they might not be doing the Obi-Wan Solo movie anymore because of all the trouble that the solo film had.
They won't be doing any more solo films. Right,
so it sounds like the Obi-Wan movie might not happen. So I really I want to see Ewan come back as Obi-Wan at least one more time.
One or two more times.
One more time.
Oh my god. So wait, how many puns have you had this? 4? 4.5 hour. Your quota is way too high. But back on the train of Star Wars just doing stuff and Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and all that could not have sounded good. We're just like
crazy hour,
but yeah, the crazy house. Then going back to the Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, and all of them just proceeding with things to make people happy. I don't know why they did this. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. I would argue as far as dramas go, it's probably a good thing, which is I'm hoping what J.J. Abrams is going to bring in episode 9. But they brought in a second unit director, Victoria Mahoney, who's known for Queen Sugar, more popular than all of you guys are going to know, Grey's Anatomy, and then American Crime. I have not seen the first or the third one of those.
Just so that we're clear, in case anybody of you guys heard about this news, every single film ever made in Hollywood has a director, an assistant to the director, an assistant director, an assistant to the assistant director, a first unit director, a second unit director, and in a big enough film like a Star Wars movie, you'll often see a third unit director. Mm-hmm. So the fact that
this made huge news. This was all over Twitter. This was big. The reason it was big.
Well, hold on before you get to that. Was this assistant director or second unit?
This is second unit director.
See, it's just a second unit director who does. A second unit director, and also there could be a stunt director too. What exactly is she doing?
She was listed as doing second unit director, standard second unit directors. There is no additional stunt.
Just maybe some
coordinator. There's a stunt coordinator, but not a stunt director. Right. So she'll do light reshoots, stunts, and then pan shots and stuff like that.
Right.
B-roll.
So this again is just one of those things where it's this is not a big deal at all, guys. Mm-hmm. But because Star Wars is in need of some positive news right now, they'll turn any little thing into a big story.
Yes.
So now, D-Rock, tell us, why are they making this big news?
So I'm not allowed to be
so bureaucracy.
Yeah. That's what I do. I'm not allowed to comment on this in any other way other than I'm kind of upset that they're not bringing they're not touting her skills as a director. On the Twitter feed, they touted her just being an African American woman, which is not like, yes, she's that, and I don't know what she identifies as, and I'm not trying to project. But I would love them to be like, look, she's a killer director on Grey's Anatomy. Like, she was. I looked at some of her clips.
Cool.
She was great.
We love more ethnic directors, producers. We love multicultural things. But cultures. Are they good? That really has to be the first thing.
She is good. She's objectively good.
DuVernay, or whatever her name is, the African-American woman that just directed A Wrinkle in Time, you know, she seems like a cool person, and they were like, yeah, African-American woman, but that movie sucked. Royally sucked.
But she's great. This gal was great. I've watched some of her episodes of Grey's Anatomy today.
No, it sounds like this is a very talented person.
I think that was a great move. I think that was a great step. But we had, like, Rian Johnson. The only reason I'm bringing this up is personal biases. This is just news. I'm only listing news. Was Rian Johnson last week mentioned, you know, I think he phrased it wrong. We need more cultures. We need more experiences. We need more life events in the Star Wars universe, because what has largely been written from the perspective of an old white dude is what the Star Wars universe was. And it's not that. It's aliens and everybody, all shapes and sizes. And I'm super happy they're doing this, but I really want them to focus on people's accomplishments. I don't personally like JJ. I don't. I've read a bunch that he's not very nice to work with. He's kind of stuck in his ways. I don't know him.
He wasn't even nice to Kathleen Kennedy, apparently.
So. Yeah, so I don't know him. He might be a nice dude. He's probably great when you can sit down with a cup of coffee. But there's so many other people who could do something like this and make it good. And we saw that not even get a lot of recognition in the Oscars this year. Which, was it the Oscars or Grammys we sat down and watched?
Both.
We sat down and watched both?
Oh, we watched the Oscars.
The one with Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? I'm blanking.
Oh, you mean Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele. That was an incredible movie.
Give Jordan Peele would do a great Star Wars movie.
He would have made a killer solo film. But that's just, it's neither here nor there, but I think Star Wars, I think Kathleen Kennedy, I think Disney as a whole, with all the stuff they're trying to do with the news and the different changes in the directors and stuff like that, is I think they are trying to please us. So as my last bit, before I pitch it off to Rich to close this out with any comments, is fans, stop being so mean. Really, give them a break. They're trying. Make your voices heard, but just don't be nasty for the sake of being nasty. Because I saw a lot of terrible comments with that stuff too, which I'm upset that that's the nature the internet has caused the Star Wars world to be, because we've been better than that. The Star Wars fans have always been better than that. We have the best cosplays. We're the most inclusive. We have the best Comic-Cons. You always see Star Wars events be about people and the story. And so Disney's working their way back there, so keep it factual, guys.
Yeah, and to clarify too, I just want to say that, you know, especially in Star Wars, more diversity is great. Mm-hmm. You know, it really bothers me sometimes when I see people complaining about, like, the diversity in Star Wars. In a world where we have 1,000 different aliens, why not have these different cultures too? You know, like, some people were complaining that the cast of Rogue One was too diverse. How?
It was perfect. It was.
That's how the universe would look in a multicultural universe. But as far as, you know, the crew goes and everything, yeah, it's great that they got this African American woman. But, you know, it sounds like she has a lot of talent too.
She is.
The media really focused on the culture part of it, and I think that it's important so that we don't start, like, going crazy, making terrible, you know, things. Unless you already think that Star Wars is terrible.
Yeah.
Why are you watching this?
Then factually tell me why it's terrible.
But you really got to focus on the talent first. It's great to get diverse, talented people, but do make sure that they're talented as well.
Yep. I think that's where we're going. So as a summary for you guys, as we will start to do on the new Star Wars half hour, I'm going to blend through the news from this week. We had episode 9 to bring Yoda back as a Force ghost. Millennium Falcon ride may or may not be confirmed. Poe in The Last Jedi in episode 9 is going to answer where is his Black Squadron. We have the new second unit director Victoria Mahoney taking over on episode 9. We have a new TIE fighter being introduced introduced in the Solo film. We have the Star Wars Holo Chess available on the iPhone. Solo Stories TV show shows a lot of Donald Glover about to carry the show. We have Otterbox releasing new Star Wars cases for the Solo film. We have a new update to Battlefront 2, which is supposed to save the game. And we have Paul Bettany's character being confirmed as the main villain, which is going to be Dryden Voss. And finally, Star Wars Solo film is going to be 2 hours and 15 minutes.
And that was your rundown of this week's news in Star Wars. I really hope you've enjoyed our Star Wars half hour. Let us know when this video becomes a public permanent video. Let us know in the comments. Like this video first, and then let us know in the comments, do you prefer a half hour? Do you like it being an hour? Do you not care? Do you just watch this video to see how white our teeth are this week? Mine aren't very white this week. Derek's are very white.
But that being said, if you're missing anything as far as Star Wars news, go and check out our Facebook page,
Facebook.com/Star Wars Network.
That is where I will be posting items that we do not mention this week. If you want to see clips in items of like new release trailers and things like that, I will be posting those there as soon as they release. So go ahead and give us a watch.
And now we're going to pretend to tell jokes to each other as we close out. So anyways, yeah. So
I was
the camera pans out.